As you probably know, many video games require you to adjust your gameplay continuously. Be it fighting games, where you have to react instantly to your opponent's move, slow-paced turn-based strategy games, where you decide on a long-term tech tree, stressy FPS, or even brain-twisting puzzling stories, all of those games ask for adaptation on your part. It's usually one of the base skills that a player needs to master. So why is that? Well, because video games are, at their core, an interactive medium. Contrary to movies or books, for example, where you are the consumer of a pre-written story, and you engage with the artwork in a somewhat passive way, with a video game you are asked to constantly question your current situation, and evolve in an ever-changing context. In a way, all genres can bring you surprises. It's just that depending on the type of game that you're playing, those surprises can take various forms. Are you a fan of narrative RPGs that enjoys seeing the story unfold and twist suddenly? Or a car racer that can detour through the map to avoid the cops' coverts? Or a MOBA expert that can swap between gameplays depending on the enemy team composition? If you think about it, even retro games like Tetris or Pong, although they rely on super simple mechanics, require you to adapt constantly. Recently, one of the games that I've played and found the most demanding in terms of adaptation was Minimetro. This little 2015 puzzle game is a real gem, and it's a great way to chill out after a long day. In this indie title, you are tasked with designing a subway or tramway network to connect a random set of stations the best you can. As time goes by, more and more passengers will travel on your rail system. Your goal is to make sure that they can always find an exit station matching their shape, and offload somewhere. If you fail to handle the growing flow, and one of your stations implodes with too many people stuck at the same time, it's game over. So when you play Minimetro, you'll alternate between gameplays at two levels. First, at the large scale, you'll want to anticipate future clusters, avoid bottlenecks, and dispatch your resources. And then at the smaller scale, you'll need to react to impromptu events, and choose wisely your weekly rewards. So this game constantly pushes you to work on micro and macro management. Micromanagement is about handling short and intense situations. When you're faced with a small-sized but time-sensitive issue, you'll need to cope with it quickly. And most importantly, you'll only be able to have a limited impact, so you better make sure you deal your cards right. Macro management, on the other hand, is about getting a bird's-eye view of the context, and planning ahead with plenty of variables in mind. At this high scale, you usually have more time to react, but you also need to integrate more data to your analysis. And when playing Minimetro, you get both those types of management at the same time. Designing a line, choosing how many locos and wagons you put on them, turning stations into bigger hubs, all that is macro management. These choices will have an impact in the long run, either a good or a bad one. Conversely, Minimetro also offers us some features to deal with precise situations, like the trick of the phantom line, where you add a little extra line that you keep available at all times to quickly connect an overloaded station to an exit point on the board and offload the flow of passengers before the game over. This strategy is obviously not viable during an entire session, but it can be key in playing a little longer. Of course, another essential aspect of Minimetro is the randomness in how stations appear on the map. Even if you stay in the same city and restart another game, you won't get the same station location and types each time. Every time a new station pops, it picks a random spot on the board, and it will take one of the possible shapes. Add to that you can have random mutations of stations throughout a session, and you're in for some unexpected twists. This means that you should always be aware of what's going on, and go beyond learning a few patterns by heart. Instead, you really need to understand the mechanics of Minimetro to be able to adapt to all possible situations. So what if minimetro, in all its woopy wisdom, was actually a great way of improving our capacity of adaptation? And please, tell me in the comments. Am I the only one that hastily discards tunnels with a snort, just to be in desperate need of one a couple of seconds later? In the meantime, if you have other ideas of games that tell us something without us noticing, go ahead and share them in the comments. As always, thanks a lot for watching, and take care.